Hey guys, and welcome to another episode tutorial with me, Joseph Evans, author of the Secret Sequence books and the Phoenix Prophecy, the Ember Effect, Soulbound, the Secret of Rain, the Last Goodbe and Glitch Girl. If you find my tutorials helpful and you'd like me to continue making them, please take a quick moment to check out my Patreon page and see the different ways you can support me. If you do decide to support me, you can get a range of rewards as a thank you from me, including early access to these tutorials, voting on what tutorials I make, episode goodie bags, shoutouts for you and your stories, and even personal help from me. Okay, today I'm going to be teaching you how to use the point system. Now, this point system has many uses, and I couldn't possibly show you how to do all of them in one video. But the good news is that the underlying code for all of them is the same. So I'm going to show you the most popular and common use for it, which is having a character or characters react differently to the player based on how they have behaved to them in the past. I've already set up a few scenes here in which I have the reader playing as Sekri in City of the Falling Sky. In the first scene, he's enjoying a donut in the kitchen and there's a second one available. Then Aya walks in and the player has the choice to give that second donut to her or keep it for themselves. In the second scene, the player is talking to Tenk in the corridors of Estergate High, and Aya says that she's having trouble with her locker. At this point, I want the player to be able to choose to help her or say that they don't have time. In the third scene, it cuts to Sekri and Aya getting ready for the annual Estergate end-of-year ball, and Aya asks the player how she looks. Again, I want the player to be able to choose to be nice or mean at this point. In the fourth and final scene, the player approaches Aya at the ball and asks for a dance. It's in this moment that I want Aya to accept or decline the offer based on whether you've been nice or mean to her over the course of the last few days. Okay, so this is as far as I've gotten. Of course, these scenes would naturally be spread over a few chapters with lots of other stuff happening in between, but I've lumped them all together here just to show you how this works. Now, if we wanted to base whether Aya dances with the player or not on just one choice that they made previously, then the easiest way to do this would be with a gain. We would simply put gain something like you were nice to Aya here. And then right down here, we would put if you were nice to Aya, then sure, I'd love to. Else, no, you've been mean to me. Or something like that. But I don't want to base this on just one decision. I want to base it on whether the player has been consistently nice on multiple occasions, and this cannot be done with gains alone. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, let me get rid of that. And the gain. And the way we do this is by having the character gain points every time they're nice to Aya and lose points every time they're mean. When we get to asking Aya to dance, the script will calculate whether our points are greater than or less than 0, and Aya will react accordingly. Okay, so to have the reader gain a point for being nice here, all we have to do is write at Sekri, then a space, then the plus symbol, and 1. It's as simple as that. And to lose a point for being negative, it's just at Sekri, then a space, then -1. And I'll just do the same for the other choices in the other scenes. Then, at the point where we want Aya to make her decision, we write if, then open up a bracket, then our player name, a space, then the greater than symbol, then a 0. And remember to close that bracket as well. Open up a curly bracket. hit the return key twice, close your curly bracket, then the word else all in lowercase, open up another curly bracket, the return key twice again, and close the curly bracket. So what we're essentially saying here is if Secretary is in plus figures, then we want this to happen, and if he's in minus figures, we want this to happen. So if the player has been nice, I want Aya to say something like, I'd love to, and just add in an animation. And if the player's been mean, then you've been really mean to me lately. I'm gonna go dance with Thom Mallerk instead. Just add in some animations here as well. And that is all the code we need. Now I'm just going to place in a little bit of extra directing just so that they actually do dance at this point. And if she rejects the offer, then she walks away. Now the only other thing we might want to do before testing it is add in some reader messages saying that Aya will remember what you chose. These are messages that slide down from the top of the screen and generally act as notifications. So we want to go back to where our player is gaining or losing these points, and we want to write the words reader message in all lowercase letters except for the M, which for some reason has to be a capital letter. Now I don't know why this is the case, but it will not work unless it is written exactly like this. And then we need to write our message on the same line. Now be sure not to do the usual thing of writing it underneath like you would with a narration bubble, because that won't work either. So I'm going to create a reader message here that says, Aya will remember your generosity. And I'll put another one here saying, Aya will remember you were selfish. And actually, I'm just going to move this one down to after Aya has responded, just so that the message will pop up when it zooms on her face. And let's put some in for the other scenes as well. So reader message, Aya will remember you helped her, or Aya will remember you didn't have time for her. Okay, reader message, Aya will remember you were nice, or Aya will remember you were mean. Okay, the final thing I need to do before testing is add a tiny bit of code at the very beginning of the episode that resets the player's character points. So this is at Secretary, then a space, then equals, and 0. And this makes sure that when I'm testing this multiple times, my points don't end up all over the place because of repeated testing. Before you publish your story, I would recommend deleting this, unless you specifically want to reset the player's points from a previous minigame. But we do need this in there for our testing purposes. Another thing to remember is that these points do carry over across chapters. My example is all contained within one chapter just for the sake of this tutorial, but just like gains, points that a player gained or lost in episode 1 will still be there to affect things in episode 40, unless you reset those points somewhere in between. Okay guys, this is finally ready to test. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to pick all nice options in this first playthrough. There we go. Aya will remember your generosity. Aya will remember you helped her. And Aya will remember you were nice. Let's see if she actually does. Hey Aya, would you care to dance with me? I would love to. And there we go. Brilliant. How romantic. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. And we're going to see if we get a different outcome by picking mean options. I really can't imagine anyone saying that. But for the purpose of this tutorial, let's say that they do choose that. There we go. You've been really mean to me lately, Sek. I'm going to go dance with Thom Malak instead. Laters. And now Sekri's feeling the weight of his previous actions. Now I'm just going to go back to the beginning one more time. And I'm going to choose one nice option here. One mean option in the second scene. And a nice option here. So you see, because the majority of my choices were ones in which I was nice, Aya accepts the dance. If 2 out of the 3 were mean and 1 was nice, she would reject the dance. So that, guys, is the point system. Now, some extra things to note are that you can also use the less than symbol here, so this one, or the equal symbol, both of which can be useful in different situations, and you don't necessarily have to assign points to the player. If you wanted to have multiple relationship points being won and lost for multiple characters, you could instead assign points to those characters and then reference them here instead. So based on the player's relationship level with multiple love interests, the one that they have the best relationship with could show up at the player's apartment at some point. This same underlying code can even be used in situations that don't involve any characters. Things like keypads, mazes, and traditional point-and-click adventure-style puzzles can be created. All it takes is a bit of inventiveness and innovation. Okay, that is it, guys. If this tutorial has helped you in any way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the helpful tutorials I've got coming up. And if you'd like to support me and get some exciting rewards like early access to these tutorials and personal help from me, head over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Author Joseph Evans. If you have any questions about any of this, make sure to comment them down below, and if you know the answer to anyone else's questions in the comments, it would be great if you could give them a quick answer to help them out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Good luck with adding the point system into your stories, and I will see you all next time.